Hello, everyone. This is our third segment of Chat with Chan. And today we have with us Craig Chu. Craig is a assistant deputy chief actuary in our office and oversees the certification services division, which certifies benefits of all sorts. And he was also instrumental in helping us develop the actuarial valuation reports that we didn't have all in place a few years ago. So he definitely helped us develop it from soup to nuts. And with us today, obviously, is Craig to help us kind of walk through the valuation reports and share with our followers, different sections of the val report that we could highlight and convey some information to. So with that, we'll start things off. Craig, my first question would be, for those who might not be familiar with actuarial valuation reports, can you just give us a high-level overview of what one is and what kind of information it conveys?
Sure. So the actuarial evaluation report for a pension valuation is essentially the documented work product that a pension actuary signs and releases saying, this is all of the backup for how, this valuation was done, how this contribution was developed, and all of the things that went into it. The audience, it can be a really broad spectrum, which is one of the difficulties of it. But I would say that the the real key in a lot of actuaries' minds is that it has to be written with enough detail that another qualified actuary would be able to read it and judge its reasonableness. And ideally, it has to be understandable enough that other stakeholders like financial analysts or people on the pension board can also understand some of the more basic details from it to also understand the health of their pension system.
Okay, and is there, because it is a pretty lengthy report and depends on which retirement system or pension fund we're looking at, some are even lengthier than others. So is there like a specific section of the report that you might point someone to get a high level summary or just get some takeaways from it?
Yeah, I think so. Almost all actuarial evaluation reports, ours included, will start with an executive summary at the front, which is intended to at least be sort of the top level, quickest summary of everything that's going on in the valuation. The following sections are a lot of the more nitty gritty backup, and those are the ones that really sort of get into the sections where another qualified actuary would be able to make sense of them. But if you're not an actuary, hopefully the executive summary, even though it's going to have a lot of numbers, will also have things like the funded status of the plan, the assets available to the plan, those sorts of things that should be able to make sense for anybody trying to judge the health of their pension system.
Yeah. Okay. And then, as mentioned, this is a fairly new report for some of the retirement systems. And because of that, we've made a lot of improvements even in the first few years that we've issued these reports. So can you maybe tell our followers, what are some of the things that we've, implemented and have already improved upon since our very first version?
Yeah, I think the most major one is definitely going to be a section that we just call risk or risk and uncertainty. It was developed with one of the new actuarial standards of practice in mind, which is all about risk disclosure. But I would like to think that it's something we would have had on our radar to do whether or not the actuarial standard of practice came into being. And it's also really helpful for non-actuarial audiences because it is more prose and less tables and numbers, but it sort of talks qualitatively about a lot of the risks that our pension systems or that the pension system for the report in particular would be subject to, such as, volatile investment risk is always a huge one in the public sector. You face a lot of political pressures, you face a lot of stakeholders on all of the different sides who are sort of jockeying for the different things that they want. And so it does its best to try and lay out what those are to at least keep them in the mind of a reader so that a reader can also keep in mind, these are the things that could really, hit this pension system in the next few years and be a big risk to us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time today. Hopefully, all the readers can, followers know that we've spent a lot of time this summer pulling these reports together. They are available right now on our website, which is www.nyc.gov/actuary. And once you're on our page, there's a reports tab that you can click on. And once you click on that, the Val reports are on the top of that page. There's 3 years on there for each of the 5 retirement systems. So happy reading. So thank you, Craig.
My pleasure.